Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Thank you.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
The same thing. Keep on repeating.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Denk lako.
So keep on repeating it. You should be coaching witnesses.
I, Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Sarjo Sanneh.
Do swear that
Ndenkali lako.
Denkal lako.
I'll speak the truth,
Ndetonyale fola.
Betonyale fola.
the whole truth,
Onyadama.
Tonyadama.
and nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola men manke tonyati.
Defin fola mimu tonyati.
Help me God.
Woto alama alayendema.
Allah mastallah ndema.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sanneh.
Mr. Sanneh itinya. Inimbara.
Thank you.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Bismillah TRC. Bismillah.
Thank you for coming and agreeing to give your testimony this afternoon.
Inimbara ba ke la songa pour kana seda role di TRC jang nyintir bulanna. Ba nata wala.
We have already been introduced as we have met, but you know that my name is Sagar.
Koman tom bentala nu bari hanin ka bi yalonne pour ka foy don pour safero ray tilin to mu sagar lati. Ngawlo njele.
I know that.
And I will be the counsel guiding you today during your testimony.
Ntelebe ke la loyati mbade council de membe tambire la sede andiro nyati ngona je pour ke dannam. Bismillah.
We have a few rules and regulations here at the TRRC that I would like to share with you.
Sarta dan dem bulu jam men yalon ko na tamandir bulol dem katama wolle la jang belaf la kamen foye jannim ba kacha damu dala. Bismillah.
First of all, before we begin, I would like you to make yourself comfortable.
Follow belaf la men na wala nyindi ko abe diala nya pour yesi ye fanso do kacha nyin kono sa jete de so la kacha nyin kono. Bismillah be pare no dal.
I'm ready for that.
And you have already chosen to speak in the Mandinka language.
Nung ya an kabi ya tombo ne ko be diam la ni mandeka kangol la. Bak.
And therefore, just keep in mind that we have interpretation going on from Mandinka to English and the other local languages.
Hanin kabi mbe dan la nyine si nyingule sondo mo kono ko science and ben sio me don kanna soro be kere ni kabo tubabu kan la kata manne kan la ninna kan ko tangol men be banko kanjang. Bak ko saata.
That's good.
Therefore, just keep your statements brief.
Hanin kabi wodali lo kam be dan la nyine ila kuma kan ni si suti andi domanding.
Leave a short interval between my questions and your answers.
Hanin kabi fanang nyinin karo kere janni in kanna sorla nyi be nyinin karo furan la folo janni de be jabiro kala isi mini second dan tambula je folo isaje jabiro ni nyinin karo ni jabiro li kana sela nyoka. Bismillah the past.
That's all right.
Avoid overlapping speeches between myself and you.
Isaje ko nga fa nyame diamo ni kana sela nyoka ala diamo ani la diamo ni kana sela nyoka.
And also to allow the interpreters to follow what you are saying as well as the audience.
Isaje kanna sorla nyi fanang isaje asa long membe kering asa kanna sorno pour la moir lalie. Bismillah.
Okay.
I have already warned you about your duty to tell the truth, but for emphasis I will repeat it here again.
Nge yamar lan ko man tono pour ni muy kallon ko dunol de pour yeto nya fa bari hanin ka bimba murun kan naraf ko tege ka sein kam.
Okay.
I would like to tell you that it is a criminal offense to lie before the TRRC.
Anin ka bimbe raf la kay kalam tan ni nako ni mulu wa tinyalti pour ka kuma soto balo fo TRRC nyati mo la jam.
That's true.
Or to give any information which will be misleading to the commissioners.
Warando ka kibar di me yalon ko abe commission ni filin dilale.
Okay. That's all right.
I would also like to give you an overview
hanin ka bimbe la
this afternoon.
hanin ka bimbe la ka tamandre bulol tandila bi min tilbulan nambe fannal men kacala. Bismillah.
Okay.
You're here in your capacity as an NIA officer.
Jang ibe sio men do jam bi ibe jang sio men do jam wala nyinti ko NIA do kulala muyti. Yeah.
Yes.
In that capacity, we would like you to look back at the time you've spent at the NIA during the course of your employment and tell us what human rights violations you have personally witnessed or heard of.
dalilo kan tumala men ne bejang NIA do kula la muyti andum be rafla ka kacha ko la men ya lon ko hadama di nyandi tinyal le keta NIA je ite nyaa men sedeya. Bismillah.
Okay.
You have already told me as well that you have been personally victimized by the NIA.
Yen fonyele ite fon kunde wen fonyele ko ite fon keta molde me ya lon ko e kola ya soto NIA je wato men e beje.
Despite the fact that you have worked there for many years loyally.
Nya yedo ko keje sanji jama andungo sanji jama nin ko yedo ko keje wato men na imu molde me ya lon ko itiye tiling ye ko yedo ko nyi ne ibuke ma bo fenna.
Yes.
We would also like to hear from you, from that perspective, being an employee of the NIA and also being a victim of that same institution.
Kabi odalilo kam belefla ka long tumala men ngu do kulal tije anu inata na ka moti men fana yalon ko inata na deto soto ado ko nyin kono wato beje.
Okay.
I hope this is clear and you're ready to begin your testimony.
Mun jikita nyinnela ko nyin sene dal ngay membe fo jang abe sene dal do paré ne pour kela seyda ndo nyin damuta.
Yes.
Kindly tell us what your full names are.
Silang isa fonya ito ni kontongo isa fonya bam pour saferoto. To Sarjo Sanneh.
My name is Sarjo Sanneh.
What is your date and place of birth?
Ila wulu sanjumalti ani wulu da sate jumal. Da wulu ta Kiang Kayaf.
I was born in Kiang Kayaf.
Nata stay jang Banjul, Mr. Banjul right now.
But later on I came down to stay in Banjul.
When were you born?
Sanjuma 1977.
I was born in 1977.
Do you remember the exact date?
Lungo fangoy aning karo isa mutano la ba? Yeah, December 31st.
December 31st.
Thank you very much. And what is your present address? Where do you live right now?
Santang ibe sabatri mintole. Santang radem auto mbesbatri Banjul.
Now presently I am resident at Banjul.
What is your occupation?
Muna mwela do koti. In the phone mechanic.
I am a mechanic.
What is your educational background?
Muna mwela londo makamo soto di yemen soto. De Allah de maroto.
With the help of Allah.
Data Arab school.
I went to an Arab school.
Grade 6.
Up to grade 6. That's where I was. I was also working, doing also this trade as a mechanic.
Before we move on to your training as a mechanic, kindly tell us what school you went to and what periods.
Jannim bitela do goda ka fo mu mechanical di silang talen londo nyinto ya dara damur damento andung ye karam jumal mabe de primary school ke Kayaf le Kiang Kayaf.
I did my primary school at Kiang Kayaf.
And where is that?
Kiang Kayaf we minto le banko kanjang LRR.
It's in the LRR, Lower River region. I left there and came to Banjul.
Do you remember what years you were at Kiang Kayaf?
For hakilo sa murano sanju malam ye even Kiang Kayaf la primary school. Around 80s.
I started there around the 80s. Then later on I came to Banjul.
And what happened after you came to Banjul?
When I came to Banjul,
in the school,
they took me back to school. I was there. I realized that that is not my field of work. Then I went to Tobacco Road. I went to Madike Fall. I explained myself to him and informed him that, and he said he works on big trucks. He told me, okay, let me also inform Sirfo Jata, who is also at Tobacco Road. Then I personally went to Sirfo and explained to him. I bought cola nuts and took it to him. That's how things were going. I go to school, but when I close from school, I come to the garage.
What school were you attending in Banjul?
I was going to Kampama School.
What school was it? Was it a primary or secondary?
No, primary school.
It was a primary school.
And what level did you reach?
Yeah, and that grade 6.
Yeah, that I went to grade 6.
Menta ko nabuse ko inteleimo longa try ngata mecho da makam.
That's the time when I informed my boss that I cannot take these two things together. Let me leave school and continue with the mechanic trade. That's what I was doing
for around 1990.
Until in the year 1990.
So after you finished your training, were you a qualified mechanic or not?
Yes, with the help of Allah.
Apart from the apprenticeship, did you go through any formal training, or actually did you attain any kind of qualification or certificate? All
right,
with the help of Allah, the man who taught me decided to give me a certificate, but he is now of late a man called Sirfo Jata.
Please proceed.
So
that's what I was doing. Well, my job impressed people.
So nata NIA.
Then I decided to write an application to the NIA. After writing that application, by that time the late Baba Marena, he comes to me there at the garage. Even Sehu Sabali, when they are not at the office, they used to come and camp at my garage.
Can you tell us who Daba Marena and also Sabali was?
Seku Sabali, former vice president.
Sehu Sabali was one time former vice president during Jawara's regime.
But Marina Frankada that DG NIA.
And Daba Marena also one time director general at the NIA. That's how things were going. Until I was later called to the NIA.
So we call saying interview for test floor.
They said before going for an interview, they'll have to test me. I said that's okay. I said to them, now what you are going to do, tell your chief mechanic, tell him to dismantle any kind of machine that he has. Let him dismantle the machine and leave it like that in my absence. When I come,
maybe
if I come back, if I reassemble the machine and it failed to ignite, then there will be no need for you to employ me. Because if you want to employ somebody, should be somebody who is well qualified in that job.
Mr. Sanneh, it seems you were dictating the terms of your examination there before you were allowed to gain employment at the NIA.
Mr. Sanneh, amul dala ko hani merita do ko la folo do ko nyi tamandiri bulo nyana ka nyame it korondola itambita ko fo nyati nyaro.
Almo ni fo no ni asela.
Somebody, if you are well qualified in anything, then you shouldn't have fears. That means that if you are on the part of the truth, you will not have fears.
So were you eventually employed?
Yes, on the day that all this happened, they told me to start work on that very day. But I told them, no, I have other jobs that I have to finish before I can come and start working here.
Do you remember when you started employment with the NIA?
Yes, by the help of Allah. I forgot the date itself.
Alonko is 2004 nimenya.
But if it was in the year 2004, if I remember properly.
I believe you have a copy of your appointment letter with you.
Jigida later on ya sa iba tandila ko yeta do ko ala copy ni ngabembul.
Yes, I have the copy.
Kindly give it to the usher, please.
Di nyumari lambe nyimmenkila nanje ba natinye.
Are you literate in English?
Imumode ba yekto karango yedo man sudela ba.
Angale kamo ya.
Kamo.
Yes, I can speak a little bit of English.
Are you able to read this appointment letter?
Ni later on nyingi fo ifan ya karanno ifan yenne ba. Ha? Ni makaran.
No, I didn't read it.
In that case, I will just read it on your behalf, Mr. Chairman.
Odalilo kang ba later on nying karanna ito yala kiaman idunyo ila dunyo kang.
The appointment letter is dated the 1st of November 2004 and it's reference PR CD 4060 in brackets 2 and it is signed by Elijah B. Gassama for the Director General. And I would like to tender it as part of the record. I will give you an exhibit number in due course. Thank you. So you started your employment with the NIA on the 1st of November 2004.
Munda ini NIA do ko da muta wolem November karo tilifolo 2004 sang.
Yes.
Can you tell us how long you've been working for the NIA up to date?
For isa fono nye. Bi yedo ko muda ini NIA la nisante mai wati sanji jellel si fok sign kambe bula sign.
It took some time.
Do you know up to how long? It looks like you've been working for the NIA for more than 20 years now.
Amulum tam fela ko I tarta do ko la NIA membita abe sambila sanji mo fangola. Allah ukele.
Yes, yes, with the help of Allah.
And that is a long time.
Yes, that's a long time.
Is it safe to assume that you know the NIA very well?
For abe koila abe tankala la bampul moya fo ko NIA yejelo mbakele.
Yes, the area where I work, I know that area very well.
You know the NIA as an institution very well after working there for 21 years. That is what I'm putting to you.
Ko NIA lombaga ka ke tumalame ne je mudi ku dingira na ko do ku dingira la je lombaga le do hitar je sanyi muang anin fen.
Yes, that's true.
Sorry, can you repeat your answer, Mr. Witness?
Yes,
yes, he said that's true.
Thank you very much. You know exactly how the NIA operates.
Yalo ne famfan ke NIA ke la tamandre bulo ka ila do gol tamande nyame.
Yes, I have knowledge of some.
And you're familiar with its officers and workers.
Andung idal ta do gulal la anin do gulal membe je nyaron ko la ni dumalangol be. Allah ukele.
Yes, with the help of Allah.
Before you started the NIA, did you receive any kind of training for the work that you were going to do there in that agency?
Janni be do ko commencer la NIA je fo ye karambulo ye kaye karandi la bang fanna la be do nyana ko do ko ke fanna la menna bang ye karanda la bang.
No kabi enteka.
No, since I was employed,
they maroto ye appoint I think 3 months or 4 months.
Well, I spent 3 to 4 months after my appointment.
Training school.
And that's the time when I should go to the training school.
Training school.
When I went to the training school, I told them, had I known that this is what's going to happen, I wouldn't have taken up this job.
Because time spent training school
because the time I spent at the training school and the hardship I encountered, I have seen that. Because if you are at a garage, every day you will earn money by yourself. Even if it is $1. Even if it is $5. That's all thanks to Allah.
What kind of training did you receive at the training school?
NIA lo karamo tinyindo ye karande mu bulu jumal la fanna jumal la ye kan bulu minna siatan.
They told me many things.
Were you trained in intelligence?
Ye karande londo kullo maranyala la bang.
Yes.
Because you've told us that you appointed as a mechanic, is that correct?
Adu ye infonyela ko yeta do ko la pour ka kila mechanical.
Yes.
So apart from your training as a mechanic, you have training as a basic intelligence officer as well.
Ninga bota karandiro la wana do londo men sort of fita ya la karola wada mu da ye karandila fanang fondama wala molan kullo police la do ko maranya hana la fondama ye karandi wala am to yalti.
Yeah, that's true.
And during the years of service at the NIA, can you tell us how many director generals have actually served in that institution?
Sango men be do ko ke NIA je foi sa fo no nya ton ka jelle tombo je ye do ko men ko director
ni nyana fala.
Yes, if I can remember, I'll count them.
Please, can you tell us who they were?
Afonye banjumal lam director di
Marena.
Marena.
Please give us their full names.
tol ni kontongol dinna
Daba Marena.
Daba Marena.
Can you remember the period he served?
daba marena foi hakilo samuro no ay sango men na do ko ke je bang kada sanjelu
Dabon anata jele.
Daba came there.
Sada embula je atada yake appoint ambassador efungu yala tondi governor.
Yes, he came, but he left me there when he was appointed as governor.
Amuda ko anata ko interje.
And after that, he came back again and found me there.
From there
Who
Pajal.
replaced him after he had left?
jumale sit seta no kan bring ataka
Ratata nimingina Pajallo.
If I remember, after his departure, he was replaced by Pa Jalo.
Please go ahead.
tenteng
Pajallo botaje.
After Pa Jalo left,
Pengen nata Bobaji.
Bobaji came.
Botaje.
After Bobaji left,
Munata.
Juma?
Harisamu.
Harisambu came.
Ofana botaje.
After Harisambu left,
Monata.
Numo came.
Mokujabi.
Numo Kujabi.
Ofana botaje.
He also left.
Yankubanata.
Yankuba came.
Obotaje.
Yankuba left.
Obi ala de marodo.
Up to today, by the help of Allah,
Akada Usman Sola Jamanuti.
now it is Usman Sow who is leading the department.
And which Yankuba are you referring to? What's his surname?
yankuba be yankuba jumala kontongo
Yankuba Baji.
Yankuba Baji.
And according to you, I believe you have about 7 director generals who actually served whilst you were serving at the
ko
NIA.
ya fa nyame njikita ko atara fo director nyaton ko fo mo woro wula me yalon ko yedo ko ke wollel koto
Amtonali.
That's true.
And after recalculating, I realized that you've been actually at the NIA for about 17 years, and that is why lawyers should never try to calculate anything. But I believe you were there for about 17 years.
wala sabu kabre murunda nga yiri ka kuge nga kala muta ko itarta do ko la NIA je fo membita so njitang ani woro wula
Yes.
Do you happen to remember what periods each of them served? If you can't remember, that's okay. I just need to
ko
know.
hakilo samura no nyin director be nyin korda tiro be yedo ko menke yedo ko ke men ko hakilo samura no be wati jellel ke nyote ma nyin nyin do naade janni babu de kan nyin do aka jellel ke janni ate bolaje do ena ka ila wato itemo
Marena ta ole mera.
Marina's stint was longer.
I meant the specific years. I don't know if the interpretation
For
is
Sangulu.
reaching him properly.
Ko sangolu menu kije kari sanji nangam le kije kari sanji nangam le kije adole nyinin kakang fo hakilo samu to kiliwo kili sanji jelle ke nyaton kaya laji.
Ala de marodo nda askeno mbafu on joya miro de même mum fala fo wala ma fonde.
Well, what I'm going to say is just that I am human. It might be correct, it might be incorrect too, but I will try to say what I can remember.
If you cannot remember, it's fine. I'm just asking if you can.
ni hakilo ta muta no la bedada ke nyin ka to ninga tre hakilo samura bar ni ta hakilo ta muta no la fana bedada
Nda fo no maybe yalo minano len koy ko 2 years le I get 3 years ngafani afo.
Yes, I can say it's 2 years when if it happens to be 3 years, in that case I have told a lie.
Yeah, it's okay. I was actually referring more to the year, as in whether 1990 to 1991, for example. But it's okay if you can't remember.
bedada
You
ni
can
nga
move
tre hakilo
on.
ta muta no la zitenten no la
You've already told us that after being at the NIA for so long, you have a fair idea of how the NIA works.
Ya fanya janko tumala men ita NIA fo wati jang woto kule woku dalilo kan ye NIA je kume kumpaje fo ko bitamara je scenario mal.
You must also be aware of the jurisdiction under which it operates.
Ndung hanin kabi fana ngabe scenario fentes kumbale fitarle kumboro fana NIA la do ku bulol nying ila do ku bulol nying ya betaral fo hapu jumaro.
Is that something you know?
Fom kule de mel lomba ila do ko nying bulo kar danta damendo e kara fo damendo ma
ni mo belo.
Well, I don't know all of that.
I mean, do you know what work the NIA does as an NIA operative, working with the NIA for over 17 years? Do you know what it is actually, the NIA, what it does?
Ako NIA la do ko menti abe wala fo ya lo ne makaro tumala men e do ko NIA membi da fo sanji tangani worawula.
I should know that. Yes.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking.
No.
Just in general, just give us a summary of what you believe the NIA does.
I sutia drong I fanu do mandim fana come NIA la do ko menti te mello.
NIA la do ko
the job of the NIA
agena clementi,
but it should be
collect information.
That's to collect information.
Kibaro.
As the Mandikas call it, kibaro. And to investigate. And to try to separate false from truth. And also whatever comes by, you brief the government and the whole country. I know that.
And is this in respect of intelligence matters, for example?
Munda misal fe nimu kullo maranyal pillo kwolti kibaru kullo maranya baru kullo maranya.
Yes, as for information. Yes, if I remember, I think that's what I have just started to explain.
Are you agreeing with me or not?
Yes, I
agree with that.
And as far as you know, did it stick to the jurisdiction of its work?
For it is the London NIA. Idanta ila do ko luwa mendi la pour do ko kadam fo iblo danta jeda ba fokuwa la do ko bulo danta ila ko luwa ti la nyame la do ko bulo danta wolto ba ita la London
Yes, as far as what I know,
we have received ample evidence from witnesses during this theme to say that the NIA interfered in the work of other institutions.
Are you aware
of instances of such happening?
Yeah, those things happen.
I'll give you a few examples and then you can agree with me or not. For example, we've heard that the NIA was turned into a debt collection agency. Where basically claimants would go to NIA officers and then lodge a complaint to them, asking them to recover debts.
Damendo yalonko moni moti mo julo betarle tema me yalonko atel julo atele julo soro modo la ta ena ay kanindo ka fo ena liya ma ko pour ay ala julo soro mo kari bulu.
Debtors would then be arrested, detained, and in some cases even tortured in a bid to actually recover these debts. Are you aware of such situations?
Jeto ho fanda la ni ko me belaro nyama isaje sitawo mari no kam yalonko julo be minini atele kamoda yetaw aresna ya nati ya tajire ya isaje me ya mari samba jasare mari sala julo soro no mari bulu foyo kala mudala wasifal ngamwele.
Yes, I used to hear that.
And do you agree that this was not within the purview of work of the NIA? It was not in their jurisdiction?
Sa ison tanyin na ko o misal sifal ko ay mem foten sa ente wol mu do kulet me alan ko wol mata NIA la do ko fon kono ko luwa ya landi nyamen.
Yes, I agree with that.
Do you agree that this was purely a civil matter for the courts?
Ison tanyin mal ko nyimu moni mote andu men dame to nyanda o nyin jarala wolto mu kiti bum dati.
Yes, I agree with that.
We have also received evidence to say that the NIA also interfered in the work of the police.
Andunga kibaro fana soro me musede yar ndo janko NIL fana keta molde mi alon ko hani kabi manda woro fana ke dabla police la do ko kono la yo fana yo muna foto woro fana fayo moy go fana moy.
Yes, I hear that also.
And they would investigate crimes which they were not actually trained or equipped to do.
E ka kuolta ke kisi me ya lon ko me karandi wolondo sifa fa wala pour ka kuzen kisi ka wol fana kele.
Yes.
Yes.
We have heard of situations where NIA officers were used to score personal vendettas.
Sorry.
Nin kibaro fana soton ko nin NIA do kulani mudo dunta nyola. Itilikawa o NIA kawleta ka kesemboti pour ka o mari tilimbalia ka sembota mandia marika.
Go fana moy.
Yes, I used to hear all those things.
So people would have personal problems which they would report to the NIA, and the NIA would be used basically to deal with enemies or opponents.
Mol damal ka du nyola le mo do sitaje ko me mo lonje taje NIL dabula NIL saje si dabula je pour ka sembo ta ka law mari kandrom pour I fa wala kun nafaka.
Yes, go fana moy.
Yes, I used to hear that also at the place there.
Yeah, even though we also have an agency that deals with the issue of drugs, investigation of drugs, seizure, as well as prosecutions, we have also heard that the NIA was also intruding in that area.
Ano nya banko kan janga doku bunda soro me alon ko walla mata doko maranya nyim banko kan ka kele mu han ka bi kibaro fanan soro jango mata sede andul soro ko NIL ke dabulo kusiwal fanan do ke dabulo doko tamandri bulo banko kan jang.
Yes, no.
Yeah, that's also true.
We have also received evidence to suggest that the NIA had a culture of incommunicado illegal detention.
Anin kabinga se kibaro fanan soro ko NIL ada kilimbe wala nyindi ni mo ya sindi dula kele wala ka mara dula kele ni mo ka diam ka fa incommunicado ani mo diam la ni mo de kachala han fen.
As well as torture.
Anin kabi ani tajire ya.
Especially in highly politicized cases.
Surtout case mene alon ko politiko ba kono.
Is that correct?
For
as far as you know.
Yes, that's true.
We have also received further evidence to suggest that the NIA was used as a tool to satisfy the personal desires and also the politics of Yahya Jammeh.
Anin kabi fana sede andro fana soro janko NIL mu dingirade molke mu nafanjela isaje nyin kamala ko ko me alon ko politiko ba kon andum Yahya Jammeh ni mo me alon ko be iba kelo nyin ko politiko ko no me alon ko pour ka Yahya Jammeh sewondira ko nyin ko no NIL ke dabande jere don kaw mari nyi dete pour Yahya Jammeh ka sewondi.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think this is common knowledge, and everybody knew this. It was something that was rumored in public, and it was something everybody knew. But I would like to go into the specifics of your own employment at the NIA. Just tell us the nature of your job and also your personal experience as to what you personally witnessed and heard during the time that you were at the NIA. So we'll just start with your own job. Can you tell us on a day-to-day basis what you were doing at the NIA?
Silang ngai membe foto nyu bem kuler nan ko kuler nan ka munu bango ka mobe ka munu ka fonyo bar silang nsiboro ngara ida fangola ko ro ila lumo lundo ko nyin akatama nyame ka kenyame NIA jeron sinana woro.
Okay.
Yes.
Nte sunonda.
So in the morning,
Innata.
when I go to the office,
7:40 or 7:30 in Kasain.
I arrive 7:40 to 7:30. I sign the book.
Sign.
After signing,
At breakfast ke.
I will go and have breakfast.
Breakfast ke.
After breakfast,
Assessment ke.
I will do my assessment.
Along go B.
And I will know that today,
At least more 10 or 15 yen or onion namix or way para B.
then I will know that either 10 to 15 vehicles should be ready today,
Base on motor condition onyalila.
which is based on the conditions of those vehicles.
Along go crowdale gold pending.
The ones that have serious problems will be left pending. This is how I work.
Please continue.
So, Neo Batala,
After that,
Ana Afana Boserego,
Then I will call my mates.
I
will separate them two to a vehicle. And when the vehicle is ready, before it departs, I will call them and tell them to ignite the engine of the vehicle, so that I can listen to the noise from the engine.
Mr. Sanneh, sorry to interrupt you. Your job entailed maintenance and repairs of vehicles at the NIA.
Ila dogo abe kono wala nyindi moto ni ello ndingol so ke dara ke topo ke topoto ka dada NIA je.
Ndaka bel ke je.
I do a lot of things there.
Moto machine nyin ka bol abinya nkaji nyen nga fon fe alunga machine kono ka bel ka.
What I do sometimes is to completely dismantle a whole engine and again rearrange it. I do a lot of things there.
But it's all within that area of maintenancing and repairing.
I don't
want us to spend a lot of time here because we have so much more important things to talk about.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. This covers everything.
Thank you very much. And during the course of your employment as a mechanic at the NIA, did you have cause to interact with other departments of the NIA at all?
What do you do? NIA yeta do kola ka mechanic or mbade menum fitade. Fo ika wato soro la bampuru ikata ida bula do kubunda do la meme anko NIA ikata ikete ida bula ida do ko kono ba.
No, that's not part of my job.
Ngol ko ni tad la lo.
Mandika proverb says, if you know where you are going, you should know where you are from. So that's what I saw. I saw yesterday and I saw today. This is why during my tenure, I have to keep an eye and keep mind on everything. There's nothing which is hidden except Allah's greatness. If you are living today, think that tomorrow, whether you are Muslim or not, whatever you are able to do for people, give help based on Allah. Don't think that whatever good I do for people, I should be repaid. This is why I decided to think of tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sanneh. Did you have any opportunity to interact with the investigators, for example, at the NIA?
Misal fe fo inar na har jesro la puru nyi menumbe marlin kiskisro kunyala NIA jedo puru ini e blo nyodum e blo ini blo nyodum blo kono ba ni man la ni mix.
No, I don't want to mix with them.
What about, did you have an opportunity to arrest anybody?
Sa ndum fo inar na har jesro la puru kam momuta ba
ani ansa kumakil ngum fa ole rek man ka kawn rek.
Still, just as I said, that's the same thing.
What about detention?
I have never done that.
Have you ever participated in any torture at the NIA?
No, I will not do that. I hail from the provinces, so I know what I'm doing.
The people from the provinces don't torture? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, trees look alike or fruits look alike, but they may be different.
I think that's a more accurate statement, because I think we have seen a lot of torturers from the provinces here.
If you come from the provinces, they have names there. I'm from Jara. Or from Badibu. Let's go to Badibu. I don't go to Badibu.
So,
now, how can you know that? This is it.
It's all right, Mr. Sanneh, we'll proceed, but let's not make any stereotypes. What about any other human rights violations? Were you involved in violating anybody's rights at the NIA whilst you were working there?
Me, what I always do is to help. That's all what I do.
We would like to warn you that the investigations into the NIA are still continuing, and there's a likelihood that we could receive further evidence implicating you or any other person, so therefore we would like you to be truthful. Asikeno ito sinana findi dingira rome alon ko be ito be dunna je wodo hanin kabin be dandala la nyinkan isi to nyaf ni ko mara ko mo alkidiyel. If that happens also, I'll know that it is a decision by Allah. But if you don't do anything wrong, then nothing wrong should happen to you. And therefore you maintain you have done nothing wrong whilst you were working with the NIA. Yes. However, Mr. Sanneh, what is clear is that after 17 years at the NIA, you definitely witnessed human rights violations. Is that correct? But haninka bi onyaonya sanji tang aning worowla kola wato mene dogo ke NIA ji tonya inya sede yata hada madingol lanye tinyal me alon ko aketa boyta mol kanje NIA ji fotonyan umtonyaldi. Yeah, that's true. Okay, please share some of your experiences with us, starting with the case of Lamin Sanneh. Tell us what happened, what you observed. Silang damuda ya funyem bang misalo dina ka damuta ning Lamin Sanneh la ko to menketa je. Lamin Sanneh as for Lamin Sanneh de maroto with the help of Allah around 8:30 or 8:20. It must be from 8:20 to 8:30. In the morning or in the evening? Somanda for ularo. Somanda. It was in the morning. Can you tell us the dates if you can remember? I forgot the day. The year? I forgot the year too. Okay. And who was Lamin Sanneh? Did you know him before? He is my relative even. Not that I know him, he is my relative. Where did he work? Works. Minto? Director of Works. He was the director of Works. During what period, if you can remember? Lamin did all his career at that place. And would that be PWT? D, sorry? What for like PWD? It was the PWD which changed and they called the place Department of Works. Very well. Please tell us what happened to him. Lamin Sanneh. With the help of Allah. I was going out of the place. I went and bought breakfast and I was returning back. Which place are you referring to? The NIA. Okay. When I was entering, I saw the vehicle and I recognized the vehicle. I saw another vehicle behind it. I said to myself, I recognize this vehicle. And which vehicle was it? Pickup. It was a pickup. I found a small car, black one. And his own private car was a small one, a black one. Who are you referring to? Lamin Sanneh. Lamin Sanneh, I'm talking about. Please proceed. So, with the help of Allah, I saw him alight from the vehicle. He was wearing his suit. He told me that, well, I went to my office, I went in and I started to have my breakfast, but then I was
picked and brought here.
So ngaye mu nekata.
I asked him what has happened. He said to me, well, as far as now, I don't know as yet what is the reason. I said to him, well, okay, by the grace of Allah, we will know. You were there? Then we were there till dusk. I didn't hear anything. When it was time, when it was around 4 o'clock, I wanted to go home.
Men say no.
I cannot go home. I was unable to leave.
But yeah.
Because of my relationship with him. If they touch him, the person who touches him might touch me also. What happens to him might also happen to me.
Yo, so go for stay for 6.
I said, okay, I am going to stay up to 6.
6 seater.
When it was time for 6 o'clock, I saw them taking him out of Invest and they took him to light detention.
Please, Mr. Sanneh, you know we are not working at the NIA, so some of these jargons we are not able to understand. What is Invest and light detain?
Yeah, untol manda do kola NIA. Niko into sudun sifal dintol asiken untalon nola. Niko invest muna woti and niko light detention wala mundi.
Yeah, invest all ko kisis lag.
Invest stands for investigation. The place who are responsible to investigate matters.
Okay. And you said light detain, but you meant light detention as well.
Yeah, someone bundado mi an jeng selo di jeng sal bundado ni dunda bundado gon beje sanye gi fali.
They brought him to a place where there is a big parlor with other rooms. It is nowadays that the place has been changed, but at that time that's where they brought him.
Do you know why that place is referred to as light detention as opposed to other forms of detention?
Light detention.
What I know about light detention, I personally slept there. If they take you there, before they do anything about your affairs, they will take you there. Now you will stay there and they will investigate about you. So during that, it took 2 days. I didn't hear anything. I went to him and I said to him, Lamin. I told him we are of the same blood. We are from the warrior clan. I said to him whether it is death, whether it is something peaceful. Since I came to the NIA here, I have never even visited Invest to know what happens there. I said to him, but for now, let me go and visit the place and talk to somebody there. I went there and found Lamin Mane. I said to him, Lamin Mane, we are all from this, we are all relatives. Sanneh and Mane are all the same. I want you to give me or hint me something about Lamin. Because calls were coming from every side. We don't know still what has happened. Even his family, today's 3 days, they don't even know where he is. I said to him today, if I don't know, there is a head. I will go to the head and ask him. He said to me, no, wait for the time being. I said to him, that's what I'm going to do.
Mr. Sanneh, you've already said that from your evidence, we know that he was already in detention for about 3 days.
It was more than that, just to shorten my explanation.
How many days did he actually, was he in detention for?
I tell you detention Morocco no je.
I mean 1 month jail.
I mean, spent 1 month there.
From there.
And from what you've said, it was also incommunicado detention. He was not allowed to access or contact his family.
Amunda ko ya fanya men fana tarta nu Morocco no je ani mo buka diamu ana la dimbaya ni wal buka diam fa.
Yes, but the day I became ready, I said to him, today they will dismiss me or they take me to mile 2. Your family plus your close relatives, I will tell them that for them to let them steady their minds so that they will know your condition. I had said to him that I'm going to your mother. She's at Brikam and I'm going there. I'll go to your wife at Kotu. I'll tell them that you have been arrested and detained here.
Can you tell us what the conditions of detention were for Mr. Sanneh?
What the condition of the
detention?
Ako faisa fono condition ala maralo nying ala al halo benyadi len.
Somebody who is used to easy life, who doesn't know what is suffering. If that person goes into hardship, well, that changes the whole situation. Akabanyadi. Yes, the body will, the person will lose weight.
Do you know if he was maltreated at all?
Ya na foi la londor foi ya muta nyala mi anko maranya jawala mba.
What I realized, somebody who used to sleep on a bed, any type of food he wants, that's what he will eat. And he'll go to a place and see somebody. Huh? That's another way of suffering.
And what about torture? Was he tortured during the 1 month he spent at the NIA?
I'm coming to that.
Can you please answer the question and then maybe you can explain?
No, he was not beaten.
There.
At the NIA?
NIA.
Yes, at the NIA.
Apart from the NIA, did he go to any other place?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? How did he come to leave the NIA and go to that particular place?
To shorten the explanation, when they know that I am involved in this matter, they took him away from there. They took him to mile 2.
And this was after a month of detention at the NIA.
Yes.
How long did he spend at the mile 2?
What did you see mile 2?
Mile 2 nunga date for asingafani.
If I want to mention a date, I might tell a lie. According to my thoughts, he spent a long time too at mile 2.
And after he spent time at mile 2, did you eventually see him again? And at what point did you see him?
I saw him. I decided to risk whether it is life or death.
Please go ahead and tell us what happened when you saw him.
Also for that, it was in the morning. I went to my boss, whereby every time who happens to be the DG, Numo Kujabi, whenever I go there, I see him. So I saw that I went to him. I told the orderly to inform him that I want to see him. According to the Mandinka proverb, if a drummer steps on the drumming stick, nobody will see it. He refused to see me that day. I told the Odli that. Tell him that. I say that. Today, I will see him. Even if he lives here in the morning, at dusk or dawn. I just want a word from him. 1 or 2 words.
Did you eventually speak to Numo Kujabi?
Yes, because he must have to go home. I sat down at his door. The orderly told me to go out. The person, and that person found me there. I said, okay, but as for the outside, we are equal there. I went out and I leaned on the fence. I said to him, as for this matter, that's what I want to know. When it is going to be black, let it be black. If it is going to be white, so that I will know the situation. What he told me was, this order came from the top. I asked him, top from where? He said to me, from the elder.
Almost 1 month. Every day I came from mile 2.
I said to him, now tell us who this elder was.
He said that was Yaya Jammeh.
So Mr. Sanneh was arrested and detained at the NIA on the instructions of Yaya Jammeh.
Amunta Mr. Sanneh mulamin Sanneh ya amunta ya samba NIA inara sound mile 2. Yaya Jammeh la kangoka.
$4.
Yes, as what they told me.
Okay,
I said okay. I said to him, something must have to be done. If they are not going to release him, and they didn't charge him, every day they will go for him, pick him from mile 2 and bring him.
So
now, and I told Lamin, I said to Lamin, what is going to happen? Akiradi, the way things are going is not the right way.
1 month.
I said to him, now it's 1 month.
He may charge.
They didn't charge you. They didn't tell you anything.
Mile 2.
They take you from mile 2.
Office.
Just like a baby, they bring you here to the office.
From 8 o'clock.
They make him sit down there from 8 in the morning.
5 o'clock.
Till 5.
And in your view, Mr. Sanneh, was that correct procedure? Was it wrong?
The way that things were, as for Lamin, we talk in 2 ways.
Can you tell me whether that was unlawful or whether it was lawful? The fact that you said he had been there at the NIA for over 1 month, he wasn't charged with any offense, and then he was taken to mile 2.
I mean, you know, for example, for don't come on for Silo, you Taman de Bulloni, Kamensam Bakang, at the NIA for Karikili, yeah, Bondi NIA, Samba mile 2 for Natata, for Taman de Bulla, Kamensam Batalaming, for only Luata Talabanfo.
No, that's quite wrong.
And do you know whether before he went to mile 2, they took him to court, whether there was a court order actually remanding him there?
Londo, for Yalanda Fananja, Nibamon, NIA, Kasamba mile 2, for Yasamba Kitio Labam, Kitio Narana, County, well, on a court order, Funduka, di Kafoka, at mile 2, at CJ for Lobang.
No, that never happened.
And after he was brought back from mile 2, did you at any point observe anything that was wrong with Mr. Sanneh?
Mile 2 are natty. 4. Ila korosiro that nine fronten di la sute abala la bankaitan di ko kude nyinde kuba bala me alon ko manyin sute abala.
Ala de maro no sute.
Yes, I recognized, I observed something about him.
Please tell us what you observed.
Fanyambang yemuna sute abala.
De maro abdiga mudo kono.
One day he was alighting from the vehicle. He was being escorted.
Where was he coming from?
Kabona minto.
Abona mile 2.
When he was brought from mile 2. He alighted from the vehicle. And I know that whenever he's coming,
because
the people who go to pick him up, they inform me that we are going for Lamin. I will leave my workplace and come around and wait for him at the place where he will have to pass by. After he alighted from the vehicle, he shook hands. I said to him, Lamin. I said to him, Allah is great. I said to him, Lamin, what has happened? He refused to talk.
Why did you ask him that particular question? What did you observe about him?
Because with the help of Allah, if I shake hands with him, if I give him my hand, I recognized something, I observed something about him.
That is what we are asking. What did you observe?
You know Allah. Yes, he doesn't deny you everything. He will give you something and give something else to another person. If you put it together, it will become something big. When we shook hands, I said to him, Lamin, you are not truthful to me. The others were standing and listening to me. I asked him, what happened to you there? He didn't tell me that. I said to him, Lamin, there was another person called Lamin Mane. He was the 2IC.
2IC to what?
He was 2IC to Sukuta Jamme.
And who was Sukuta Jamme?
He was the OC.
Of what?
Bunda Juma. At the investigation department. I said to him, how things are going, I'm not happy about it.
And you also said, Mr. Sanneh, just to take you back, that you said something happened to him there. Where are you referring to?
No,
Mile 2. Yes, it was at mile 2.
Okay. Did he eventually tell you what happened?
At that time, he cannot tell me.
Did you eventually get to know?
Yes, I came to know what happened to him.
Please inform us.
So,
we are there. I informed his wife that today they said it was 1 week or more. His mother didn't eat.
Mr. Sanneh, kindly inform us about what you got to know about what had happened to Mr. Sanneh first.
Silang afanyambang kwenye be nyala bango ina na munelo Mr. Sanneh la benketala follow.
I know that. He was beaten. And the way they beat him, he was wearing a shirt. The shirt he was wearing, the way they beat him, I cannot say anything about it.
So,
in that,
can you tell us who beat him and where he was beaten? If you know?
No, I know that he was beaten at mile 2.
Because
the reason why I said he was beaten at mile 2,
because
when I saw him in this problem, I went back to my boss. I said to him, as for Lamin, please arrange a bail for him. He might die here. He said to me, Sanneh, how do you know that?
Kay kabina rajang.
I said to him, since I came here.
Ne kabira atinata.
Since he came here.
Mami mbe fode.
All I told you.
Tajele.
You always see that.
Mr. Sanneh, was he eventually released? Was Lamin Sanneh eventually released from the NIA or from Mile 2?
Mr. Sanneh ko nyimbe nyala ba woni fo Lamin Sanneh inara na bula Mile 2 le ban waranto fo inara na bula NIA bulubal. Inara na bula.
Ya bula le odumo bato abola.
They left him, but at that time he was just waiting for death.
And what do you mean by that? What was his condition at that time?
Ilo koto munete ala halo nyimbe nu nyaadi le wadi.
Alo nagiya miro do.
Well, as a human being,
Moko fale titanani. Abelona otamaka.
somebody's soul can depart, and that person will remain among humans for 40 days.
And his condition then, what are you saying was the cause of that condition? The fact that the only thing that remained for him was death?
Alo halo nyimbe nu nyaadi le fo memba isa tandile le ko ala halo sa mentu da jero wala mfati muna ala halo nyinda benu nyaadi le.
Anybody who sees Lamin, you happen to see him the day before, and you see him today, and you look at him properly, and I observed Lamin properly.
What was responsible for that? That's what I'm trying to get from you.
What I said is that he was beaten.
And according to you, you were saying that he was beaten at Mile 2.
Yes, at Mile 2.
Lamin Sanneh was at the NIA for a whole month. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what happened.
Having sworn on the Quran, can you tell us for sure that he was not beaten at the NIA?
For ila ranyina loko imama andu imalipa watu menabe NIA.
NIA?
At the NIA,
the
reason why I said that he was not beaten, what I observed, when they realized that, now I am ready for anything in this matter. Whether it is going to be peaceful, whether it is going to be troublesome, that resulted into. This is why, in fact, he was granted bail.
Because when on our way,
the question was, can you tell us for sure whether or not he was beaten at the NIA or not? Can you swear to that?
I will swear to it.
So as far as you know, he was only beaten at Mile 2.
Because Kabinga Samba.
Yes, when they took him, when I took him home, his wife, told her to take her to the hospital. At the hospital,
1 week.
After 1 week, he was transferred again to the hospital. And during that period, I went there every day and I chat with him. And he told me that was what happened.
Because
even when he died.
What happened, please, Mr. Sanneh? He told you that is what happened. Can you tell us what he told you?
He said to me that I was beaten. I said to him, you were beaten? I said, what kind of people beat you? He said to me, you know, it was in the night. And I said to him, can you describe these people to me? After the year after, there is no other settlement. And he could not tell me anything about it. He said they were dressed in black.
I said to him, hope these are not the black.
Asking I killed.
He said it could be them.
Kaiko.
And I said to him,
mimu.
if at all you knew who they were, then to talk about it would have been easier.
Mr. Sanneh, we've heard evidence that usually what happens is that you are referring to the black. Usually they remove people from Mile 2 and take them to the NIA premises where they are tortured. Is that what happened in this case, or are you saying that are you still maintaining that he was tortured at Mile 2?
Mr. Sanneh ngakiseda ndiro sura janko black kulem bari to ni black sul ito kata Mile 2 le mol bodi Mile 2 ye samba NIA te tajire yawro bari sa ite han ka bi fabe lori ni kango kafu ko atelamin sana ate itata tajire ya mate dara liba Mile 2 le awro fanyi.
That was what he told me. If I told he died in Mile 2, I wouldn't have said it that way. The way he told me is the same way I am telling you here.
Thank you very much. And what happened eventually with Mr. Sanneh?
He did not survive.
That day,
those that went to the mosque.
Which day are you referring to?
When he died.
And what was the length of period between when he was released and his death?
10
days or now
what I know is if it's 10 days, then it is. If it is not 10 days, then it cannot be more than that. Because his wife is here, Awaka, she's still alive.
And can you tell us what you believe was the cause of his death?
The beating. Because at the mosque, the imam is still alive. Those who went to the cemetery, many of them are still alive. Everybody saw that. The cloth that he was wrapped in, you could see the blood stains. Those who went to the cemetery. That was the way things were.
So the wounds that were inflicted on him during his torture were still fresh?
Yes. We did not see the injuries, but the white cloth was having red stains.
Thank you very much. And who do you hold responsible for his death?
Government. It's the government. It's the government.
You told us that he had been arrested and detained on the personal instructions of the ex-president Yahya Jammeh. Is that correct? Yes, that was it. So do you hold the government responsible or do you hold him responsible?
I will not blame the government. It's Yahya Jammeh that I blame. Because the way that they told me, I said to Numo, this man is residing with these people inside with Yahya Jammeh's mother, Yahya Jammeh's mother's compound and this man's compound. There's only a road between them. I said to him that if you tell the president that and make it known to him that this man is his neighbor, even if this man had done something which is not correct, he should consider their neighborliness. This man's children and this other person's children, they are the ones that play together in Koto here. I said to him, also put that to him, that may make him release this man. He said to me that, he asked me if I have any personal interest in this matter. I told him the interest that is there is that Both of us come from the same village. And we share the same surname. Therefore, he is my relative. If I do not stand for him, there is nobody from Kayaf in this office. I told him since I came here to the NIA, I found people that were detained here, but I used to just pass them because I did not know them. So the one that I know, I'll tell you, forgive this person and bail him. I told him, you do something for something. Go and tell Yajame that. These two statements. Tell him this. And tell him that this man is his mother's neighbor. And secondly, myself, this man is my older brother. It's not that we come from the same mother or father, but our fathers are related.
Yeah, Mr. Sanneh, thank you very much. I believe that some of the things you've said has already been established, and we're really sorry about what happened. I know that he was a brother to you because you hailed from the same place. And you've already said that there are so many instances where you saw people being arrested at the NIA, you witnessed human rights violations, but you didn't know those people. But this time, the NIA hits close to home in your situation.
To nyala info janko enna wati jamal le jandung adamadi nyanta jamal tinyal le jamal le kitaje be dabula mento andu nyindo saying NIA natana ite fawla bunda to ite fawla bunda konkon.
Yes, that happened.
And to date, do you know exactly what it was your brother was alleged to have done, which cost him his life?
Fokana bula main beat lo men dong hanin kabi foya lonne dalilo me ya sabu ye lain koromani ya muta foya muta ya sindidula killing foya na tajire ya fon menna na sababu ala saya foya lo na menke bang
malong I don't know.
There was no document about it.
Okay, thank you very much. I would just like to move on to the 2006 Nurcham abortive coup.
Silam bida 2006 Nurcham la coup d'etat bayre ngo nyin nakuwa.
You told me of a particular incident that you witnessed. Can you just tell us briefly before we move on?
Ye kuma fonye dingira do me alon ko ekweta fonya ya sede ya menketa je. Si fisi kuma fono nyo dingira nyindo menketa woro bangala kuma la sudiyaka. Kuma la sudiyaka ma.
Briefly,
beta bikane
I was passing.
Ungarana boss brief.
I was going to brief my boss.
I found
Bunja inside the waiting room. He was handcuffed. I found black blacks standing over him.
Please tell us which Bunja you are referring to.
Major Bunja Dabo.
Of the Gambian National Army.
That is it.
Please go ahead.
And then?
I found him in handcuffs. The black blacks were standing behind him. He called me. Out of pity for him, I could not pass, so I decided to stand and speak to him. I said to him, Bunja, how is it? He told me it's not okay. He looked at me and cried. I said, Bunja, what is it? And he said, they beat me.
Did he tell you who beat him?
At that time, he wouldn't say that.
At the time that he told you he was beaten, he was within the NIA premises. Is that
Yes, the big building inside. Before, when you go in, there was a hole under, and there is a corridor, and you could climb upstairs on either side.
And you said he was also in the company of the black. Can you tell us what other name they usually refer to?
Andiko watu meneyaje watu ni black wale ya kur. For isafu ni black ni abura black foto ko tendo bela laba. To do belale.
Yes, there is another name they are known by, but I forgot the name.
Can you recall the name junglers?
Ni ko jongula fo si fenke yu sonno makono ba.
They were the ones.
And you said you found him in the company of the junglers.
Iko ya taraje abe jongula bulo kono.
He was sitting down and they were standing over him.
And do you know anything about the black or the junglers?
Oh, you could learn this black soul, warando jongula soul la koto ba. Ngamu nyame.
As I used to hear, that I heard it from people that they are the ones that torture people.
And you found him being escorted by the black, and he told you he was beaten, but he didn't tell you who.
Ya tara jeto ko ene ni black soul ni jongula soul wolle belora kunto ko ya nyininka bara mafo ko wolle me aliba. Kabe ya nyininka.
I told you that. I said that. At that time, he couldn't have said that to me. I just used my head and concluded that. There were people I passed whom I did not ask. The reason why I asked him is because of the pity. You pity somebody because you know them.
Can you tell us why he wasn't able to tell you?
If he had said it there, what I am saying today, I wouldn't have been able to.
And why is that?
The reason for that, I'll be in a house, or two things will happen. My family will suffer, and those that I also assist will suffer. That is why I passed many people before I got onto Bunja. When he said that to me, I was in a haste. It was as if you were whipping a horse. I was climbing the stairs hastily. I went to the bus.
So you were afraid, literally?
I was afraid.
And apart from that discrete issue about Bunja Dabo, do you know anything else about the 2006 abortive coup?
Bunja Dabo la kuonyendo fo kudo sarana soranda do fana be jere mi an ko elondo sura ko men sujida ni 2006 coup d'etat bayre mo nyinda ba ani Bunja ngatlo ne.
No, I know Bunja. Even well before I got to the NIA. That was the reason why I stood and spoke to him. There were people who called me, but I could not call their names. I did not even want to speak to them. Well, the reason was that because at that time everybody was cautious.
What is next?
But what is next?
And those people that you saw, were any of them tortured? Did they have the appearance of having been tortured, or were they illegally detained, for example, as far as you know?
Yo mol men jeje ele alon ko imandi amwe fo fay tandi balo fay tandi la ba memba e tandi le ko ye mala ye butele waranto fo mol be jel men ko fo ye sindi jel ba men ni wonta yaka ngalon ko
I knew that
na joya miroto
in my unlimited human thinking.
All
the people that were there, they weren't happy.
I didn't ask if they were happy or not. I asked whether or not they appeared to have been tortured.
I mean, in Gafo, the same word in Fema, for ila korosiro da birinya boite kan fo anate sun no makoro ka fo nyinde fo ye mala ban fo imema wala fo ye tajiri ba ye lipa ban fo ime lipa no
the others at that time, yes, they beat them.
Thank you very much for that, but you cannot tell us who these people were or who beat them, can you?
Bara min baraba bari ta fo no la jumal la nyimolde bari andu jumala fana ye bute.
At that time, each one was thinking about their lives, their life.
Did you know who beat them?
Ya na banjumale libabang.
I wasn't there.
I know you weren't there, but you've worked at the NIA for 17 years, and we've heard very notorious torturers being mentioned in evidence. Do you know any of them?
No, I don't know. I man ranunje, but it do go ke NIA. Maybe that was sanjitang anu warula. Ye inga mol tol mo jamialon ko tajirila balem jaw le mialon ko nina tajiriyala karola won ka mol lipa. Foy mo lon jele bang ibe men to fono la bang.
Franka mo mun ko mol to mo jele.
I also used to hear names being mentioned. That such and such person is a torturer. Such a person is a torturer.
Where did you hear those names being mentioned?
You told me mintore ke told for.
I heard their names from all corners.
Of the NIA, you mean?
NIA je bang for.
NIA bandao.
Inside the NIA and outside of the NIA.
Can you tell us what names you heard?
Fonya bang ika moto sifa nya dillel moy.
Tumbul to moyle.
I used to hear Tumbul's name.
Tumbul what?
Tumbul akontang.
Tumbul Tamba.
Tumbul Tamba.
Who else?
Ani juma.
Malia Mungo bang.
Malia Mungo, I think.
What about any person who's actually alive and kicking right now, working at the NIA?
Sa inten bemben sa inten du fo mom buka moto moy je mialon ko sa inten abe baluri na be tamaka singola mialon ko sa inten abe do ko la NIA.
San ha
Now
gamule alla nyum TRC kono.
I used to hear it in TRC.
Aba kabinga moy,
and when I heard it,
mira amarinya no kela.
I did not think that person should have done that. Because just as I said earlier on in my statement, anybody that came from the provinces.
Mr. Sanneh, I hope we're not going back to that statement you made about people from the provinces do not torture. What I wanted to know was that, I mean, after working at the NIA for almost 17 years, you want to tell us that the first time you heard the name of torturers was at the TRC. I don't think anybody would believe that.
Kamem fo manjigi nyina be murla ko makafo ko momo bara sandora ta kela nyimu tajire la sifal bari kamen gamme nyini ga wala nyindi ko tumala amen na yedo ko ke na e membira fo sanjitang ani worawula ilafta fo la commission e ilafta fo la ko ina na mom tajire la mo han mo kilim tolo nyame nga ka tajire la bala mati fo commission nyati mo la ilafta pour mo e la yo worama ko ya moy janne
ni yalo kumala la foralo.
No, but according to what was said, they said that the one that is in the system. You know, two statements were made. The one that is in the system and the one that is not in the system. Those are the ones that will tell me. And then we look at them.
What system are you referring to?
The one that is in the NIA and the one who is not in the NIA presently.
And you were in the NIA, right? You were in the NIA and you're still at the NIA. So I'm trying to ask you whether or not you have received information in the course of your work there as to who these notorious torturers are. I'm sure it's spoken of very freely there.
Ko ito be NIA han kabi sa kamen volem nyinde ko ila NIA taro wicho nyimbe kono sanjitang anu worowlo wicho nyin kono fo ila ta fola ina ma moy kafu ko nyimmo kare nyinde mo lipara ballede ka wala nyini nga fo ina ma sifal moy bang
o moy mo nga fa na
I heard those. If I say I did not hear those, it will be a lie.
Mr. Sanneh, can we have some names, please? That's
do
you want to write it down on a piece of paper?
I'm not. It's not that I am from.
Because I know that you are still working there, so perhaps you may have some. Can you freely speak about them in public?
I'll speak it out publicly.
That's, yeah, we would appreciate that if you can.
First off, I heard one person's name, whose name is Idrissa Job. I heard his name. After that, I heard another person's name, whose who is Lamin Dabo. I heard their names.
Where is Idrissa Job and Lamin Dabo?
Idrissa Job and Lamin Dabo. Sayenteng ile. Idrissa Job.
Idrissa Job. After the incident.
Which incident are you referring to?
After the change of government.
Idrissa Job aborted.
Idrissa Job ran away.
Is he known by any other name?
Idrissa Job tola. Photo kutendo balala ba.
Ndanga tomilo.
The name that I know is Idrissa Job, and I knew him a long time in Banjul.
Have you heard of the name Alaji Moore?
Alaji Moore to ikaw to mo yala ba.
Alaji Moore to.
The name Alaji Moore.
Uncle from Mwele.
I used to hear it.
In total, you all talk.
But this other name is the first name.
Very well. And you said he ran away. Where did he run away to?
When a thief comes to your house and goes out, he just goes out.
What is your answer, Mr. Sanneh? I mean, where did he run away to? What country? I know you like to speak in parables and stories, but we would also like a direct answer to our questions sometimes.
Well, I don't know. Ninka di baga burkila jabirol di ni misalol ni mansalol la barhani kabintol fela mbelafla nya jabirol la mealon ko jabiru tilindi walde.
I'll give you straight answers by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. I would really appreciate that.
Barabake obediala nyele.
Please continue.
Tenteng
Laminda frantango from Mwele.
I heard also about Lamin Dabo.
Where did Idrissa Job run to?
Idrissa Job aborta tara banku jumaldo.
Ni banko ni mo interest kabla aborta ngana aborta.
I did not have the interest of the country, but when he ran away, I knew that he ran away.
Do you know where he was running? I mean, what he was running away from?
Yala ne banga data ka bori munela bang.
This is what I'm telling you. An evil person.
I mean nyoto.
What he mixed up.
What he mixed up. Today is the day to narrate it. If I told he was here,
kindly help us interpreters, please.
Okay. You will not be able to sustain people.
You will not be able to sustain people.
So
I
I'm
don't
told.
understand.
So I'm told.
I don't understand that interpretation. Can we have some more help?
It will not be enough. It will not be enough people.
Perhaps you could ask the witness to rephrase.
Or maybe the witness can help us. What does it mean in English? Because he understands English.
Akoyo faram yo bonyo kono bang. Ikata mol sila.
I said. I said. But all he was here up to date. He will not. Many people will be after him.
Okay. Do you know of any specific cases of torture that he was involved with at the NIA? Any specific cases?
Yeah, no bank. NIA jero je foundo. For case be jel me alon ko ate fon kunno nyingo ko case ni sula batalo case ni ndola bang. NIA je. Yalon je.
You know there.
Alors akama ko kewulo rek.
Yes, please, interpreters. I see you're having difficulty today. Mr. Dabo, help us. They're not understanding your Mandinka.
Okay, no problem. Let me give you. Sanneh.
This is why I'm saying that.
It is a job.
It is a job. To make it short,
I mean the
things that he mixed up. If I told he was here seated, he would assist you people. So that the things that you are not asking me, the proceedings wouldn't have been long.
Mr. Sanneh, you know he's not sitting in front of me. You are the one sitting in front of me. So that's why I'm asking you to tell me if you know of any cases he was involved with. If you don't know, just tell me that.
Salaji mo man manke mo de me an ka tele be siri nyaati ngol je tele be siri nyaati ngol jang kenyi ni kamera wala nyi ni ya atara ite kuwo kulo me alon ko abulo nota ja abulo mata lale ye wala im lafta ye wala kusifa yo fonye ite mu lom abulo nota mento me asabu fa borta no abulo
Mr. Sanneh, please tell me, give me a direct answer.
I give it directly.
Please.
Yes.
Okay.
Abulo
This land,
mo mil benata.
all the people that came, what 2 or 3 people said, know that that is the truth.
That is not a direct answer in my definition. No. Please tell me, do you know of any cases or not? So that we can move.
No. I used to hear.
That's fine. But you do know that he was a notorious torturer at the NIA. That bit you know.
Yes, that was how it was reported.
Do you know if he was involved in that 2006 abortive coup? In torturing people? Yes or no?
I cannot say anything about that.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the Solo Sandeng case, the UDP case 2016. You were a witness to some of the events that happened. Please tell us what you saw.
Solo Sandeng.
UDP.
No, let me say the UDP. We were in the office.
Around after 4.
Around after 4.
Young call.
We were called to tell us that your unit, tell all of them to stay.
Go stay.
And I said to them, why would they stay? What's happening?
Who gave the instructions for you to stay?
Operation.
Who was operation?
Say Omar Jeng.
Okay, please go.
So ako pumule mo be stay.
He said that everyone should stay.
So okono.
So during that,
Be sitting.
we were seated
Around 6.
up till around 6.
Escort.
Then I saw vehicles escorting people inside.
So
Vehicles were escorting people or officers were escorting people inside the NIA premises?
There were paramilitary officers and our people, they were all there. And police officers.
Please tell me, amongst your people, who did you see? That is the NIA.
That day, I saw Babukar Sala. I saw one called Huruhara.
Huruhara?
He is in remand at the moment. That is his nickname.
Is he a prison officer?
No, an NIA officer.
Okay. Babukar Sala and Huruhara.
Yes.
Any other person?
Also, I found Sir Omar Jang.
So
and they said, he asked me if all my people are around, and I told him yes, they are around. And they said to me, tell them not to go home.
Can you tell us what you observed about the people who were being escorted into the NIA premises?
What I observed, when I noticed that the people that were coming in were getting many, I went through the back. I said to them, possibly the people coming in, one of them may be my relative. Because many supporters of UDP are from Care. So I said to them, wait, let me go there. I went there. By the grace of God, as soon as I arrived, there was one particular boy. They call him Dede.
Just within 2 3 back.
He died about 2 or 3 weeks back. He held my hand and said to me, in my room, there is nobody there. I want you to go to my house and tell so-and-so person that someone should spend the night inside my room for me.
Did you observe anything about his appearance at that point when you were speaking to him?
Yes.
Please tell us what you observed.
When an elderly person is not happy, you would know that something is amiss. I said to him, Dede. He said to me, Bilai, I was beaten.
Did he tell you where he was beaten and by whom?
No, because at the time, we couldn't have discussed that. What he told me, giving me that instructions, I thought that very day, they could have even dismissed me then. Or I would be beaten also.
Can you tell us if you made any other observations apart from Dede? Did you observe the condition of any other person there?
Yes.
Please tell us.
I saw people there. They were not looking happy. And I knew that. A hand touched them. And I passed.
So you were able to observe from the appearance of those people that they had been beaten?
Yes.
And do you know where they were coming from?
At the time they were coming from the parents in Kanifing.
In terms of after they arrived at NIA, can you tell us if you observed any other human rights violations that were committed against those people who had come from the paramilitary headquarters?
Korosilo la karola foye kudo korosi la karola ba memba e sabatin le sondo mo kono yinude kusala la me alon ko yedi har mari mo nyanto yela nyanto tinya ila kol konal.
And please give us direct answers.
Jabiro dina me alon ko jabiro tilindi mala
ngalon ko nieji be balon ko ani do amenta
ha yemuna korosi la ko yela nyanto tinya
ha ngamin korosi
what I observed
ila body language,
their body language
ila face be nyame
and the state of their faces, and I knew that they were not happy.
So
some were sitting on the ground. When you see an elderly person sitting on the ground or on a block, you would know that something must have happened to these people.
What do you know happened to them at the NIA after they were brought there?
Yemuna long menkete la briye na NIA jedo. Yemuna long menkete la jedo.
Ngamilo
what I know in my limited human thinking,
around 8 mafang
when night fell around 8, I am
Yuko?
Mano Sudo ha. Long time.
I cannot sleep in the night for a long time. When it's 10 o'clock, I will lie down and then I get up to pray before the morning prayers. I was lying down in the house.
No, not house.
Inside the office.
Within the NIA premises? Okay.
I got scared and got up. At that time, the story building close to the seaside, they were building it, but it was not yet completed. That place was full, as if you had a large crowd there who are formed in a circle. I came out, stood by the veranda. At that time, it was around to 11. I heard screams. 3 types of screams. One was screaming in Mandinka, "You will kill me." I heard another one.
The first scream that you heard, was it from a man or a woman?
That was a male voice.
And he was saying that, "You will kill me."
You will kill me.
Do you know why he was saying that and what was happening to him at that point?
If you hear an older person screaming, then something must be the reason for that.
And that is the reason we are looking for, Mr. Sanneh. Please, if you know the reason, tell us. You were there, you observed what happened.
No, I wasn't there. I told you, I just sprang up from sleep and I went onto the veranda. When I came, I heard the screams. 3 types of screams. One was saying in Mandinka, "You will kill me."
And tell us why he was saying that. Something must have been happening to him for him to say that.
That is beating. That is beating.
Okay, you know, we wouldn't know if you don't tell us. We were not there. And the second scream was from who?
The second scream, that was a woman. Her scream, "You will kill me, please stop."
And what was happening to her at that point?
She was being beaten too. The third one also, I heard that, "Wait for me, before you kill me, allow me to say it." I heard that too. I said to these people, "I am going back." I went back to the former DG's office, the office near to his office.
And were they all being beaten in the same room or place? Or was it different places?
No. No. Because the scream was in the room. One was not in the room. How did I know that? The one that was in the room. When the person screams, the voice of the scream, the sound of the scream, the way that it is amplified, and the one that is not inside the room, that was how I got to know that one was in the room and the other was not.
So there were different tortures going on simultaneously. Yes, when I got up from sleep, the way I heard the screams. Do you know who was involved in carrying out these tortures? Which NIA officers were involved? That very day, I did not know. Because all of them knew that I don't sleep much in the night. That is why I don't drive in the night. Because on 3 occasions I ran onto vehicles. I was sleepy. No, I have time for sleep. When it's 10 o'clock, I will lie down. Even for 1 hour, I'll get up. I'll pray. While I'm praying, and then I'll sleep again. So you were not able to tell us who was involved in those tortures?
Munta ita fono lanye jumalle multi meni yalongo wolle tarta kay nying lipa.
But you said you eventually got to know after. Can you tell us who they were?
Bari ye mfanyele ko nyi nyala ba nyi inata na lonne jumalle tarta kay nying lipa afanyemba jumalle.
Angalu nyamen.
How I got to know?
Coming go for court.
When the matter got to court,
He told names.
their names were mentioned.
So
That was when I got to know that. Behold, these were the people who were torturing people.
Can you give us those names?
I'm about to mention the names. I had the name Sala. I had the name Huruhara.
First, what does the first name was?
Just a second.
Yes.
These the names in the court now that we have constraint on. If that is the case, I think we should observe that. But I don't know if they are the names.
Let me just confirm with the witness. Are you referring to the Yankuba Baji case that is currently going on at the High Court?
Chairman kamen vola nyindi ko for ning ada elafta kayin tour mo infaja wala mo le men yalon ko wala be inkiti ko na sainte njana council kamen fo ni fo be Yankuba Baji na do nyo ko tan wala be men kiti lan kiti bumbaro fo bo case le gaba ambola.
If that is the case, then do not mention their names.
Ning ada wala moldi or hani me tol fo awala.
Because it's an ongoing case and we have decided not to mention their names. Thank you. Thank you. I think we can now move on. You have mentioned a lot of people that you have seen during the course of your employment at the NIA who were detained. I believe I'll just read them out for you and then you can confirm whether or not you saw them at some point being detained at NIA. You don't have much details concerning them, but just the fact that you actually saw them there and they were detained at some point.
Yeah, info jango wato mena ye wadi jango membeke do ko la NIA sanjitang ani woro ulo nyimbe kono ja ya fon nye jango e mo jamal den nade je ye sindije ke marandi ye fo wati jang silang ye tol dindal no silang mina o tol lel fole jang ye kuma de killing ninga re hakilo momo toron moron to muta aku tol kono ngamen fo jang isa to nyayande.
You mentioned that you saw Ensa Baji, former IGP.
Ya fo ko ye Ensa Baji je me yaron ko atele munung police la nyaron ko tinu.
Silaba Samate.
Nin Silaba Samate.
Fafa Sanyang, you said once Minister of Energy.
Fafa Sanyang me yaron ko anana kita na minister me yaron ko atele marlen tuluma fengol la.
Yes.
Who was arrested with more than 20 other people, including Chairman Marina, the Solicitor General at the time.
Ya muta aning me alon ko abita mbila mu amfangola be kono Solicitor General me alon ko ikafa Chairman Marina.
Pahari Jame.
Yes.
Pahari Jame.
Former Solicitor General.
Menna na kita nung Solicitor General ti.
You also mentioned the Imam Ba Kausu, who was detained twice.
Imam Ba Kausu fanam fojang ko mola made fanande ya muta sinyafla ka sindidlo akili.
Yes.
Sidia Jata and Halifa Sallah of the Doi Party.
Sidia Jata aning Halifa Sallah men yalon ko bota patio to ka me Doi.
Yes.
Usainu Dabo and Kemeseng Jame.
Usainu Dabo aning Kemeseng Jame.
Yes.
Many other people who you do not either remember or you did not know them personally were at some point either detained or maltreated, tortured at the NIA, and you observed it.
Animo koten Jamal me yalon ko dolbe je ite hakilo te mudan wala fam me yalon ko ye nadi NIA je ye mudan ni nyala me yalon ko maral nya jawolam ye muda je nyame wato me be maroko no je.
Yes.
And I believe you have already confirmed through the questions I asked you previously that illegal detention as well as torture was commonplace at the NIA. We have already established that.
Anu njikira nyinela ko ye intuanya yandile ko mantonu kabringe nyiningaro ko nyiningaro la ko mantonu ko NIA nuntonu menu beke membe keri ni nyolen kamol muda ke na ke sindije nyala me alon ko luanta yalem andu luwa manso ala fanang isonta wala.
Yes.
Your acquaintances have been victims as well as close family members of yours.
Andu mol na de me alon ko daltelale andu inila dolbeje la family la dimbalo inila dimbal be ke nata je ke marani je.
Yes.
You have also been a personal victim.
Andu ita fam kunnon keta molde me alon ko koleya nyi anana lati kanne.
Can you tell us when you were detained at the NIA?
Silam fo isa fo no yeta fam kunningo wati jumalam inana yeta fam muta je yesindi je.
We We will start with that before we go into your other detention.
Follow la wala jannim bita ila mutar dolla.
Okay. My
first arrest
on Thursday
was on a Thursday.
Mr. Jame, I believe that was your second arrest
Sanneh.
at the NIA.
No, NIA is one, Welcomes is one.
NIA is one, Welcome is one.
Okay, which happened first?
Jumala follow kita. NIA tala kita bang for
Welcomes.
Welcome happened first. So I want you to start with number 2, which is the NIA.
You follow NIA. Mem mutafulanya wani.
NIA.
At the NIA.
Natale on Wednesday.
I came on Wednesday. And I was told that the DG asked for me to go to him.
Do you remember the date?
I've forgotten the date, but not the day. It was on a Thursday. On Wednesday. And they told me that the DG said you should go.
DDG.
The DDG.
Deputy.
I went there. He said to me that we have received a complaint that the meat you sold here,
you did not pay for it.
I said I have paid for it. I said, yeah, Jame's property. If you do not want to go to mile 2, you desist from his property. I said to him, that was why when I was ready, it was during the weekend, but I came on Monday and made the payment. I went and made the payment. By the grace of God, he said to me, you have not paid. I said, I have not paid, really? I asked him, who said I did not pay? I told him, I have the receipt. Let me go and collect it. He said, no. He called James and told him that take this man on light detention. Let him be there and waste the entire weekend. Let him waste the entire weekend.
How long were you detained at the NIA?
You were generally see Morocco no NIA.
No, 4 days. 4 days.
I spent 4 days there.
And you were eventually released?
I was released eventually.
Were you charged with any offense?
Up to date.
During that time, did you have access to your family or to a lawyer or anything?
Never happened.
And what was the accusation, just so that we are clear? You mentioned a bull.
The bull, by the grace of God,
almost 15 years.
Almost 15 years. I noticed that the cost of meat was very high. And I used to go. My father rears animals. When the fasting period is approaching, I try to secure at least 20 or 15 bulls. I used to put them aside so that I could slaughter them later on and make the cost of a kilo cheap for people.
Mr. Sanneh, without going into the history of it, can you just tell us what actually brought about your arrest and detention at the NIA? Which particular case?
That was the ones belonging to Jame. The accusation was that I did not pay him, and I told him that I have paid.
So you took a bull belonging to Yaya Jame?
No, I was there. When betrayal is about to come your way,
Mr. Sanneh, were you given a bull that belonged to Yaya Jammeh to sell?
Ninkaro mende wala mnyindiko fo ye tura dila la banka boya Yaya Jammeh puri ya wafi bang.
Ani ye biang fale asubo tura ma fo musulem ba malong inzo fale ya samonte asubo ma.
No, they slaughtered it, whether it was a bull or whatsoever, but they brought the meat to me.
But did it belong to Yaya Jammeh?
Yaya Jammeh la tam.
Yaya Jammeh tam.
It belonged to Yaya Jammeh.
So you sold it?
Saya wafi.
Ma wafi.
I sold it.
What was the arrangement after you sell it? What was supposed to happen?
Ni muna kacha bengote kanda bengote alkambenda benda muna nyana kake ni wafi.
Ni it'll come to minna.
What they agreed them.
Ndeka wafi le.
I would sell it.
Abende Friday le fe.
It was on a Friday.
Ma wafi.
I would sell it.
Monday.
On Monday.
And I
send the money to where it's supposed to go to.
And did you do that?
Faya okele.
No, okay.
I did that.
And despite that, you were arrested?
Ano nyanya ila okele kola nyanya bari na ni muda.
That's what I'm saying. When betrayal is about to come your way,
almost 15 years.
Someone who was bringing cattle for almost 15 years, and you tell the person, don't do that this year. This year I will do it. And then you tell me again to sell it. I used to sell my own, and sometimes I run at a loss. But I know that is the making of God. Because if you want to help Muslims, especially during the month of the fasting month, I see that
at least
the price of my meat in the Gambia here, that is nowhere comparable.
Because for another
they came, they told me that your meat is cheaper than Yaya Jammeh's. Be careful, this is not safe. I told them what God destines will happen. I came. I used to sell my bulls there. But they came and told me this year, don't bring your cattle.
Okay, Mr. Sanneh, thank you very much. I think we understand, because you did tell us that it was you took Yaya Jammeh's bull, you sold it, and then gave the proceeds to him, but you were unfairly accused, basically, of not paying.
Sila iya fo jango bari ko nyala bon ko yeme ye infonyela ko ya jamela ninzo tale ya ta ya wafi bari ko doni ito ko ya sendi to ko ma sendi narna utumiro le kan ko ma sendi.
And after you were arrested, were you eventually released?
Yes, they released me.
And why did they release you?
I don't even know the reason why. But when they released me, I did not let the matter lie.
Did they realize that actually you were telling the truth?
Yes, you know when the incident happened, that's why I'm saying to you, the betrayal was cooked up a long time ago. When I came to this man, I told him I have paid already. I told them to allow me to go and pick up the receipt. I went and brought it back. Behold, there was a particular person there whose interest was to see that I was arrested.
So they did not investigate the matter properly. They did not look at the receipt. They just arrested you and detained you.
That was what happened.
And in your view, was that wrong or correct?
That was wrong.
Kindly tell us about your second detention. And because this has to do with another institution and not the NIA, you know, I would really urge you to be brief. So I would like to guide you so that I can get direct answers from you. When did that was your first arrest, in fact. We had gone to the second one before coming to the first. Do you remember the date of your first arrest?
I don't remember.
Okay, can you tell us what led to your arrest?
My
arrest?
What were you accused of?
The accusation was I was at home, I had closed from work.
Around 8.
Around 8. Fodebari called me and asked where I was. I told him I was home.
And who was Fodebari?
At the time, he was at Holygams. He was the boss of the place.
So Holgam was an institution of which particular department?
Niko Holgam doku bunda jumal de mealonga abe doku bunda jumal lokoro.
In the drug squad.
It was under the drug squad.
All right.
He called me when he hung the phone. Operation called me.
Party.
At the time he was operation.
Of which particular department?
Drug squad.
Drug squad. He called me. Asked me, where are you? I told him I am home.
Did they arrest you?
Yes, they arrested me.
And where were you taken to?
They took me to Kanifing.
And Kanifing where? What's the name of the place they took you?
Holgams.
At Holgams.
Holgam.
So
were you detained?
Yes, in the
I was detained there.
For how long?
Almost 3 to 4, almost 1 month.
Almost 1 month.
And were you detained with other people?
Yes, it's more than 10 people, if I don't forget.
Were you told the reason for your detention?
They didn't tell me that.
Did you eventually get to know?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us what they accused you of?
I was there.
Go for the barrego.
I said to Fodebari, it's about prayer time.
The I spend is too much.
And the money I spend is too much.
Because
I am used to our staff.
In Salofanashi.
Mr. Sanneh, what were you accused of?
They said that that someone told them that I brought drugs there and cannabis sativa. I asked them what day. They said that they said it was the Saturday that I brought the drugs. I said to him that I said, if that should happen, then I am a very foolish person. Someone that sells cannabis outside to come and sell it in the NIA. Especially when they said it was a vehicle full of cannabis.
Can you tell us how those allegations came?
The way they came, they arrested people.
No, I mean the allegations of you selling drugs at the NIA. How did they come about?
There was someone sold me offloading materials from which was sugar.
Almost 275 or 250 baht.
I think I bought about 250 or 275 bucks that I bought.
Former president.
The former president, who was Jawara, he wrote a check for me and told me that I want sugar, which I will distribute to my people in the provinces. I want, after you bought it, I do not know how much you would sell it to me for. I asked him, what is the amount that you need? I said, I will not sell it to you. I told him that the price that I buy it for, let me check. The amount that you need. Write that on the check. You wrote that on the check. Standard Chartered.
So Mr. Sanneh, eventually you bought the bags of rice and sugar for the ex-president Jawara.
Amunta konyi de nya labawo nyi inara na sukuron ni mano sang president nundo president membe nunja wala sadawra kayra ba Jawara.
Ni manu tije sukuro ya bemoli. Sukuro kono len.
It was not rice. There was no rice, only sugar.
It was just sugar. And what happened when you took it to the NIA premises?
Sila muna nara na ke biriyo samba NIA la korda bato je.
Masamba je.
I took them there.
Kabinga samba je.
After taking it there, I was offloading. I had my list with me. And the numbers of the people, the customers were there. I said to them that this sugar, there is nowhere to keep it. This is not a shop. I'm just doing it here to assist you.
In 6 months.
So that if anyone needed a bag or two, I can give it to you and you pay me back in 6 months' time.
Mr. Sanneh, why were you bringing your private business into the premises of the NIA?
Mr. Sanneh, still muna ya sabu ita fankumo ila business o ila julaya iko na di NIA la sansankono.
Ya sabu.
The reason was,
when
you are not in a particular place, you don't get to know the place.
Because
I used to pity people. That was why I was not selling it there. As they are offloading them, if you are standing there yourself, you will sympathize some people. Some people are there, they come and carry them on their heads themselves, so that they could take. And if they demand for 3 bags, I'll tell them no. I don't have the money.
Why were you bringing your private business into the premises of the NIA, which was your workplace essentially? That's my question. Was that the right thing to do?
No. But the reason why I did it, I don't have anywhere to keep it, to store it.
And during the course of you offloading and uploading those bags, what happened? Did someone see you and was a complaint made against you?
Sai muna na ga biri wato mena ibe botoro nyin sarse da ni be jindila wato mena from wala so da me aran ko ay wosida ke akonyin to ba.
Yes.
Security be yele?
Security were there.
Did from beselo ko anya binna?
There were the detainees in the cells who were also seeing me.
And what was the complaint that was made?
They said that
almost 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks, they told me that those bags of yours, they said it's drugs and cannabis. And I said to them, then you don't know your work. The very day that this thing happened, the bags that I distributed to people, I have the names of those individuals in my memory. Call all of them to come back. And those that I gave to the former president, I have not written it down, but I have the amount in my memory. I said to them that this matter, what is inside it, tell me. Because two losses, that is what was coming my way. I will lose the sugar, and secondly, my sheep too, I will lose them. Because at the time I had already bought some sheep,
almost 250 Sarjo.
Almost 250 sheep.
For instance, almost 50 years, any be for any Sarjo on the office. Every salon 6 months.
And I've been doing that for almost 15 years. When the Trrc is approaching, I used to loan it out to people to pay me back in 6 months' time.
Mr. Sanneh, let me just help you here. So as a result of your unlawful arrest and detention, which you were eventually cleared of,
Mr. Sanneh marungi mako janko kama tumala menda ila o mutonyi mialon ko atata ni silo le menko ani luani monta
you had huge losses in your business.
Amunta yo anarana ke bulu fo balti ila julaya kono.
Bagay.
Yes, very much.
And this was in relation to your sheep selling business.
Ni sujita menna wala mila saji wafo me ikamenke.
Can you estimate the cost of loss that you incurred?
Foisa yirka no bang. Foisa yirka no nyela bang. Ye fo menke la julaya nyin kono ye fo agum kodo nanga mo men ifo tala isa yirka no nyela bang.
Na jero nga ko mbundi.
According to my observation, the money that I spent
Na profito
and my profit,
kada nyaaw
however you evaluate it,
anyina 400 sila wala 4 plus.
it should be 400 or 4 plus.
Because muna kada
Because what happened was,
otumo saje damen kada.
at the time, the cost of a sheep
Was not like this.
was not like this.
Saje niya sa juna
If you buy a sheep earlier,
4,000 or 3,500.
4,000 or 3,500,
Kag namola office 6 months 5,000.
and I used to give to my people in the office to pay me back in 6 months' time at a cost of 5,000.
But that was the total cost, basically, of the loss you estimate.
Muni kuroni yirko build ni akafu nyoma ifo ta mena ngamre wala fotem fo.
Am for ha.
Yes, what I lost, yes.
So eventually, you were released from detention at Holgam.
Nyala ba ni inaro ne bula maroko no holgam.
Ay nyatambula.
Yes, I was released
And during
eventually.
this time, you said it was a period of about 1 month. Was your salary stopped? Were you indicted or anything like that?
Nim wato nyimbe akumundela maroko no jata da fo karkiling. Fo ile joni ya kuntula bang fo ye sindi wala nyama bang fo ye salary nyimfana fo ya kuntula bang fo ya kenyadi.
Ni makundu.
No, my salary was flowing.
So they continue to pay you.
Munde tentenda kejo.
You were not dismissed.
Me bay.
Membai.
So
I was
you
not
went back
dismissed.
to work afterwards?
Imurunda do kola ko nyinkere ngola.
Mura doko la.
I returned back to work.
Comme même fonyola.
I wanted to resign.
Ngoy ko makoro
I said assistance.
ibola.
That was what I was doing.
Ngaje ko ala même fo comme ça ansugu ani impoto yodi mo sun ko kono.
And I said, what God says, even if you should offer somebody a cup of sugar during the fasting period,
Sa ko leon.
it's much more if you should give them meat
Ram.
or ram.
So okay okono
In that,
ngoy ko
I said to them,
ale min keden
what you did like this,
de même fonyola le.
I would resign.
Ngam moy makoy.
I have assisted people,
Indutak modi min kan tendu.
and there is nobody who praises me.
O na kon don kaje always dum kasaro kono daga.
But all they do is to see that all the time I get into losses.
Ngoy ko min dakal lolal ta bank.
I told them that I used to take loan from bank
Ani credit union.
and from the credit union,
Ani ko deka na business no ndadu ngado ko ngam outside.
and also the small businesses that I perform for for people outside.
So ngoy ko sain
I said to them, now,
alende bula suksaro da 1 week.
here you are, you've put me in a situation just a week before the prayer time.
Sain tem
Right now,
ndela biango ni ngadi minna.
my animals that I gave to people,
Nindaji ni maso yedu.
Okay. Mr. Sanneh, you
What about-
already told us about the losses that you incurred in respect of your animals.
Yeah, fanyele if you fo menge kasujini ila da fengolla.
You've also shared some of your personal feelings about, what happened to you.
Anu ya fanyele fanango ite fan kundengo ilon kola yal men taki.
Why did you continue to work with the NIA for so long after everything that had happened to you and some of your close relatives and all of the things that you saw happening, the illegal detentions as well as the torture? Why did you continue to work?
Muna ya sababu hani kabi tentente ka dogo ke NIA nyunkul mi be yalon ko ikeda je ye sede ya ifango badi ngol nara je ye muda je anu ye tafango muda je hani kabi tentente ka dogo ke NIA mbe ntembo medo man hani kabi tentente ka dogo ke je nyunkul mi be kede la nyame ifota ila jo ila fengola unyawo nyabe dogo la je muna yo sababu
Natro ko
if at all,
ulala
that very day,
ningam fonyo.
if I had resigned,
Kamimfo
what I'm saying
wonte yinde.
would not have been this.
Because ge NIA
Because at the NIA,
undi niwulte
I'm a junior officer,
na muke balti.
but I'm also senior.
Because mimbe je
Because what obtains there,
mol tatale mol digo min sorona.
the trust that people have on me.
Abin tara fo ulula ko min fonyo la.
In fact, the day that I decided to resign,
Uli kama ko NIA sanlo klaje.
you would think that there was a funeral inside the NIA complex. People told me that if you resign, we will resign. There were people who said to me, if you resign, you are going to life in jail.
No, you will not enjoy your life.
Or you will not enjoy life. And I agree. I went and lied down. Before I lay down, I performed ablution. And then I came. I saw it in a dream. I saw laughter. I said, what they are saying is the truth. I decided not to resign. As for now, whether it's pleasant or bitter, I will just take it and leave everything in the hands of God. This was the reason why I am still there up to date.
And can you tell us what impact your personal experience in terms of your unlawful detention and everything you experienced at the NIA, what impact this has had on your life?
Silam frisa fononye ila muto me alon ko ani luwa montagne me luwan tay yade mutoro men kela ani ke sindi dula killing ay mun kolya kulel sabu mayla baluwa kono
nabulu fa mun ko min kerek.
The setbacks that I experienced
in my life.
Kus ala de marodo
by the grace of God.
Kus nkanyi fonko kele atibang bidigo fa mule mi alon ko ni ngeno ko ni mbida ni min soto ngasa mbaka sola ngasa manyula kian puna bidiko.
I had a shop in Kiang which I used to buy materials or items when I'm going to Kiang on weekends, and I used to sell there.
Asabu.
And that was the reason why
I kolashima.
It brought hardship on my side. Those that we are having my debts. Those that I also gave things to safekeep for me. I found that some people had already spent that money. People thought that I was not going to be released. And my vehicles, I found all of them. I did not find them in a proper state. That was the reason why it brought setback on my life. If not for the sheep,
I am without sheep.
Okay, I don't have sheep. I don't have my money. My garage too was closed. What closed it was, if people come to you for a particular business, and each time they come, they are not pleased with the service, that person runs away from you. Because work is intention. You see someone who knows, who is well qualified in work, or is very endowed academically, if the intention is not there.
And who do you hold responsible for everything that happened to you?
Ite jumale jalai goto dunoni ya jumale o jalai roni ite jumale chudi wala ya jame.
Why are you saying that? What did he have to do with your unlawful detention?
They said that he was the one who said that all of us should be arrested. The arrest,
almost 20 people arrested.
20 people were arrested.
Are you referring to the Holgam arrest or the Holgam?
Holgams.
I'm referring to Holgam.
Okay.
Pick up.
The pickup.
Only full escort.
With a full escort. Paramilitary officers armed with guns. You would think that I have killed a person. The T-shirt. The T-shirt. They told me to come and meet them along the way. They saw me and they all cocked their guns. I said to them, what's the matter?
You are under arrest.
Pate said to me, you are on arrest.
Mr. Sanneh, are we going back?
Mr. Sanneh fanka murunko malaba.
Let's try and move forward.
Okay.
Kata ni nyato soto.
Let's go on.
Yes, I think that really we've come to the end of your testimony. I mean, you will have a chance to give some final remarks at the end. So perhaps if you have anything else to say, you can do that then.
Njikita ko silan dem furade la sedan ro kum fa dula dala silan wato bina mo bina murle kan ko ni ngatra wato sita puru yela kum oda soro.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I hand over the witness to you.
Thank you, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Sanneh, for your testimony.
Kiaman ko inumbara bake Counsel, inumbara bake Mr. Sanneh memuida serodi puri la seda ndiroro.
Commissioners, if you have any questions to ask him, please indicate.
Silang commissional ningatra momo nyini karo soro sedo isa itandi.
Otherwise, if you have any concluding remarks to make, Mr. Sanneh, please proceed to make them now.
Ni wonde Mr. Sanneh saying about tumala men commissional momo soro membe nyini kala kumo itamuru itasubu kumo isada soro.
Please. You have the floor, Mr. Sanneh.
Gokumo bebulu.
Kumo mbule. I have something to say. I greet all the commissioners and hail them all. Pray to God for long life and good health. What is in the whole matter? The person who is on the side of truth, if you give that person the benefit of his truth, it pleases the heart. If you look at things, the way your head here is like, the imams are here, other people are here. The reason for that is so that the country will now become people who come from the same father and mother.
Because
that is the reason why.
Because
if you are on the side of truth, you would have some people who will praise you. All the people that come here, if you say you are going to praise them, if they say that they are going to praise you, there are others who are outside who are not praising you. What I have is to speak to my younger siblings so that our fathers, our mothers, who are the ones sitting here, so that we come together and be people from the same father and mother. Because what has passed, if anybody says that that has not hurt them, if I said the person, Rico, there is no person here who will know that if his or her relative has not been arrested, they would have arrested his or her friend. If they have not arrested their friend, they will arrest a relative. So if you have a situation like that, the TRC from the chairman, I'm greeting all of you, so that God will give you long life. And those behind, they do not come here with temper. Let each one of them come and see to it that it's my fathers who are here and my mothers who are here. And I know that people are here sitting. If I should say that all those who came here, the people here are not of their father's age or the age of their mothers, it will be difficult. Because someone who is of the same age with your father is also your father. Your mother through the same thing. So let us try and tell each other the truth. And if you also want to follow the cause of Islam, you must speak truth to each other. Those who have not done well, you tell them, let us not do it with bad temperament. Temperament, the person who is on the side of right, if you come here with that kind of temper, it will diminish your truth from you. Secondly, the people of the TRC, let them speak out. Let us reside well amongst each other. This person is this thing, and this person is this thing. All of us come from Adam. Let us try and live together well. Let's return to Islam, that this person is a Muslim, this person is a Christian. Let us do away with that and just see ourselves as people who come from the same father and mother. And what we are seeking, God will make it happen for us. It will take time, but a day will come, all of this will come to an end. And we will be thinking of something else. This is the message I have. I thank you. I hail you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sanneh, for your testimony and for those very wise concluding remarks.
Mr. Sanneh ila sedandiroto anila kumakang haklimalto.
Our task here essentially is to focus on promoting healing and reconciliation. As well as to prevent the repeat of violations and abuses of human rights that occurred in this country. We appreciate your contribution to establishing this historical record.
Aninkabi ila lafandango nying nasio nying kono ngatale andu ngabunyale fanang puru menakul tamandila nyame puru kaje ko katari kalori ngo sabatindi Bangkokang.
We thank you very much for your testimony.
Benumbara ila sedandirodo.
We will resume our proceedings tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Yafatu's Guest House.
dama ne jox leen ma seen noppay yéen ñi nga xam ne ni bëgg ngeen a dem Farafenni nag ñu bari den fay bëgg a dem di xalaat ndax am naa mbokk aw ma mbokk fan laay dem dëkk ak fan laa du dem dëkk seen coono jeex na seen xalaat jeex na te si biir Yaa Faatu's Guest House ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xam ne ni moom mooy c'est ko self container
saala cabinet
ñaari cabinet ak saal
single room
néegi nag nekkul ne la naa jox waaye duñ leen laaj mooy sore naa ñëw indiwaale leen seen yére kase ndaxte yére yi sax foo leen koo def ñu ngi leen ko amal saala cabinet yi bu nekkaa nga am lal bu nooy saal bi ñu ngi ko defar ba mu yaaña toogu yi nekk fa télé bi nekk fa channel bi nekk fa channel bu la neex ngay cuun waaye nag amuñ si loolu rek yéen ñi nga xam ne yéenay dem ak seen famille ak seen njaboot benn nit wala ñaari nit ñu ngi leen fa amal waañ yu baax waañ yu yaaña bagage yi waañ yëpp ñu ngi fa yow yaay xool loo bëgg a togga rek nga teg si gaz bi daal di taal togga lekka sa xol sedda
léegi tamit nag aman lañ leen lii di AC ak ñu nga xam ne fan rek lañ am waaye amuñ si loolu rek ñu ngi leen amal fu nga xam ne foofu ngeen di toog ngeen fiixlu seen xel dal ñu ngi leen amal ndox ak courant 24 hours amuñ si loolu rek njëg bi yomb ba bëgg a dee
fu ñu nekk nag neex a xam ba bëgg a dee si gannaaw gaaraas si base bi foofu sa Farafenni lu néew rek ngay dox am si marché bi jënd loo bëgg delluwaat sa kër ak Yaa Faatu's Guest House mun nga noo jokkoo ñun si 790 1355
35 30 489
email si ombay7843@gmail.com si Yaa Faatu's Guest House su leen fa demee dinañ leen jox customer care service bu baax seen xolay sedda ba ni ngeen fay jógee Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House lii leen amal yéen ñuy dem Farafenni saay boo leen tëddee nelaw leen ndaxte Yaa Faatu's Guest House génne na seen coono bi yëpp fii si biir dëkk bi Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House dama ne jox leen ma seen